In this video, we are going to show how to copy an ad and reuse it for a new ad. In this case, we have an ad similar to the one that we made in the prior video for the real estate house for sale. What we're going to do then is go ahead and load that. So I've loaded up this order and I'm going to simply copy it. So I'm going to say copy ad, and notice the classification and the size. So it is a ad layout, it's a 3 by 275. So we just really need to know the number of columns. So I'm going to go ahead and click new, and I'm going to select a rate card. Oops, and I'm going to select a group classification and classification. I'm going to enter PDF builder mode, and I'm going to show you what happens if I don't set the number of columns and I go ahead and paste the ad. So I go to home and I'm going to say paste ad. What it does is it will actually paste the ad with the number of columns that we have available. We can actually go in and we can modify this ad. Everything is there. If I set the column width now, it might be a little different because things got sized, images and whatnot got sized but appropriately. Okay, so it's not really what we want, but this is by design. The reason we do this is if you had a classification that maybe has a smaller column width than what you're pasting from, we want to make sure that you get the correct classification. So all you have to do is select 3 columns and then we can repaste the ad. Notice the height is automatically adjusted to fit, so really what you need to be concerned about is the number of columns. Alright, so right now we can go in and we can make our changes. But first I want to show you how we might make this a template. So if this realtor commonly has homes for sale and they're always this format, we might want to go ahead and just make this a template. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the description, template, 3 by 2.75 home ad. Alright, so that way we know what it is, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. So at the top we might want to put here, we might want to just put something like city, so that way the user knows to paste in the city, and maybe that way they'll give them a clue that they should put in a dollar amount, so we don't accidentally put the wrong city or the wrong dollar amount in the event that they get distracted while they're in the middle of this. The other thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and lower this, so that way if we have more text than fits, we at least can see it all without getting the plus to have to expand it and so forth. Just something that makes it a little easier. And I'm going to go ahead and put this, send this to back, just do a little cleanup work here. And we're going to go ahead and send this to the back. And that way the picture is behind everything and the text is in front. We can also go ahead and set some internal margins on this. It looks like it's kind of tight up against the image, and so over here on the left or on the right we have the internal margins. So we have the top margin and the left, I think, is this one. So we'll go ahead and make it a little bit bigger, maybe just 0.01 might be sufficient. Make sure we got that again, check it. Okay, and I think in general that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. So right now we have our template. So when we're ready to build a new ad for this particular realtor, we can just go ahead and load that template like we have now, and we can go and say clipboard copy ad. We can click new and be on our way. There's another way we can do it too. We can go into file and we can do a save as, and we can save as this format called AccountScout ASPB format. So we save as a variety of PDFs, Microsoft Word, and so forth, but here we're going to go ahead and just save it as this. It's Smith real estate template to, let's see, 3 by 2.75. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it a name, save it as that. And we can share those. If you have multiple properties, you can share your templates across properties. You can put it out on the network so people can just go to file and they can open, and then they can go search for that template and they can open the template. Or you can share across users. We're going to have a place on our website where you can upload some of these templates and download so our users can share with each other. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say copy ad. I'm going to click new, and now we're going to go ahead and create our new one. And again, we have to select our classification first. You can do it later, but you might mess up your ad a little bit when the column width changes, if it does change with your classifications. I'll enter PDF Builder mode and clipboard. I have to set the number of columns, 3 columns, home, clipboard, paste ad. Okay, so now we're going to go in here and start making some changes. This ad's going to be for Breckenridge, and the price is and we're pretty close there. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Put a name here, Breckenridge, and save it. Now we can just right click on the image, and we say change image, and we can traverse to the image. I have it right here as the Breckenridge house. And what it will do is it'll replace that image with this one. It tries to make it as close to the size as possible. It must have come to the front, so we're going to send it to the back. And now I have a Word document with the text that I would like to put in here and replace. And I'll just say paste formatted text. I can check my font. It looks like it's Arial 8. I'd like this to be maybe Road. And maybe we'll make this bold. Control B, bold, or do it there. It looks pretty good. I think this is the right Arial 8. That looks good. But I notice there's a little bit more of a gap here after the first line. We want to go ahead and center that. And also, I want to look at the spacing between paragraphs. I'm going to go ahead and highlight these two things. So I can set my spacing here, or I can click this little arrow down in the corner. And that brings up a whole dialog. And our line spacing was 0.95. That's what we normally used on the other ads. And we want to make sure the space before and after set to 0. And that went and tightened it up a little bit. And we can check our spell check, floor plan, flood plan. We can add that to the dictionary, and we're good to go. So that's all we have to do when it comes time to, we have a typo, when it comes time to change an ad. Now we're ready to schedule it, ready to go.